In this episode, we have the amazing marketer from Greece who has 18 years of experience in the world of global marketing, and he's here to share all of his tips and secrets. And he posts about no bullshit strategies on his social platforms, and I'm going to extract all of them in 1 hour. So I'll make all your time useful, people who are watching. How are you doing? How are you doing today, Konstantinos?
I'm great, man. I'm great. Everything is good. You know, when you're doing things you love, things are much better always.
Sounds so great.
My today's post, actually.
That's about something that I hear very common with people who follow their passion and they've merged their interests and passions into business that they've created. So I see that a lot. I was doing a little bit of research on you. I was reading all the articles, watching your YouTube videos and everything that you've posted, and I kind of had a little emotional connection. You're a pianist.
Where did you find that? I mean, I was 5 years old when I started. I was playing till my 17th or my 18th birthday. Mm-hmm. And then, you know, I had other stuff to do. I had to follow a professional path that didn't include music in it. But okay, you know, everything that you do in life gives you something in terms of experience, some kind of creative box in your mind that opens up, you know, things that you do, and you use it for other stuff in your life. So everything, you know, makes sense eventually. Whatever you do, even if you feel that, you know, it was worthless.
You've been a professional martial artist. So was there like turning from that career to entrepreneurship? Was there some sort of, because I've read that if I've read the book Rich Dad Poor Dad, Robert Kiyosaki, he talks about the entrepreneurship is more about mindset. So do you think you honed those skills, that mindset, while you were an athlete? And so that was an easy transition for you to turn into a business person?
You know, the life of an athlete has many similarities to the path of an entrepreneur. And now I see it clearly because, you know, it shares so many so many similar values, so many similar daily habits that you need to adapt if you want to succeed. So the discipline, never losing the sight of the target, you know, being able to rebound from a bad day or a bad tournament or a bad final and an outcome that you didn't choose, or waiting another year until you see the desired outcome. So, you know, all those traits that I got as an athlete somehow prepared me for my entrepreneurial journey. Totally different, of course, you know, especially if you're in a team sport versus, you know, being in a solo sport like I was. But yeah, the paths are very similar, and I'm grateful for having been an athlete of, you know, of a professional level, because, you know, it built my character and my personality in a way that, you know, I enjoy the benefits of what I'm doing right now.
That helped you with the grind, the hustle.
Yeah, you know, the hustle is always something that you need to fall in love with. It's not easy, but, you know, nothing comes without the hustle.
And do
you believe something like that, you are daydreaming.
And do you use simple analogies or something that, just like we use in game, you lose one game, like you lose a client pitch, you lose an account. Do you think you kind of get excited, oh, we lost, now we need to do better again?
Sorry, I didn't get your question.
So do you use like those analogies that you use in sports? Say you lose one game and then you beat, like you go all in the next one, and then the same thing that happens in business. You lose an account, you lose a client, you have a bad day. Like, do you think you get into that same spot? Like, this is so exciting, I need to do better at my work. I mean, although it hurts, I know you lose an account, you have a loss. Not a lot of business people do not have that framework.
I know. You know, this is what differentiates people that make it or don't make it. So there's absolutely no way that you will not find, you know, obstacles in front of you, or bad days, or difficulties or frustrations or losing clients or not getting clients or you name it, being broke for too long, starving to get some money to continue. It's absolutely 100% certain that you will face those days. And the only thing that, differentiates people who quit and they go back to becoming employees or whatever else versus the ones that keep going and eventually 3-4 years later, they thank themselves about not quitting is this, your ability to rebound, to bounce back, to pretend that nothing happened, to take a lesson out of a specific outcome and build on that in order to improve, in order to feel hungrier, in order to feel more motivated, right? I have a very favorite quote that I keep saying to people, which is, entrepreneurship and success is nothing else but being able to go from failure to failure without losing motivation. This, for me, summarizes everything.
People get into a depressive mindset, and I've had that myself. So let's talk about something that you're very much, that's your forte, social media. Like when somebody comes in, everybody comes in hot, right? The next shit, like their products is good, their service is better when they start social media account, until the market tells them otherwise. Like you're not that good. So what do you think is the right approach when they start like an online simple, let's say somebody who wants to sell a product or they have a consultation service that they want to get into and they use social platforms to grow their business? So what do you think would be the right approach from the beginning?
Well, everything starts and finishes with the product. To be honest, the marketing side of things and the social media side of things are always secondary. So unless you have a very solid proposition to people, either if it's a product or a service, which means, what does it mean having a solid proposition? It means that I solve a problem, at least at an average level versus the marketplace, what's happening in the marketplace versus my competition. And I can identify a specific group of people that will find valuable this kind of offering, right? Price-wise, desired outcome-wise, and they trust at least a bit my authority if I'm a service or a product. And this is where branding and marketing comes. You need to build the authority. You need to persuade people that Konstantinos maybe is better than Akas in this specific service, right? Because I have proved that through my daily consistent effort to social media to build the brand, to build something around my name. So when you have that, everything else comes easier. When you know exactly what you're offering, and when you identify this kind of group of people, and all you gotta do is start, with baby steps, addressing this small group of people, getting feedback, trying to get some word of mouth, and continue doing that until you try to scale.
I think that's where people have this entitlement in the beginning.
Yeah, true. not only at the beginning, but pretty much all the time.
And then they get, it's quite understanding the balance that, okay, even if they have entitlement, the market is rewarding initially, but then they don't see the next phase. So then they feel that they are entitled to have what they already had. Now they blame it on the platform. Instagram's not doing thing that's supposed to do that it did earlier. TikTok's not doing it for me that it did earlier. So do you use metrics in that scenario, or do you use any other strategies that you have?
You don't get married with success, right? It's not your wife. It's not your girlfriend. It's not like, she's going to be there forever next to you, being in love with you every single day, the same like the first day. So you cannot be entitled with success or growth or whatever, or followers or anything. Even for me right now that I'm at the position that I have 2 million followers on TikTok, 260 on Instagram, there are days that I'm not growing as fast as I used to be, like, 1 month ago. Or maybe for a couple of months, I struggle to find a new pace or to find my motivation and my consistency. And some videos don't perform as well as I thought. And I have all this experience. So But, you know, I'm not getting disappointed. I'm not feeling frustrated. I'm not, you know, beating myself up. It's part of the process. No process in the, you know, in entrepreneurship or social media or the creator's game is something linear. Nothing, right? Nothing is linear. Everything is like this. Sometimes you might, you know, stay at the bottom a bit more, or decline, or, you know, feel that you're going some steps back. But you need to keep going and, you know, enjoy the process and learn your lessons out of that, because nothing is steady in technology. The algorithm is not the same as it was 6 months ago.
Exactly.
Or you are not the same as you were 6 months ago, right? So just try stuff, try to constantly reinvent yourself, innovate yourself, try to bring in fresh ideas, you know, do something new, and eventually everything will fall, you know, into the place that they need to fall into.
Okay. What about balance? Like when you have that stagnant bottom growth, let's say you're in the dip at the bottom level, and you have a consistent 6-8 month that you're going through a bad phase, let's say, how do you stay in, as you say, grounded and still be hungry for the next level, at least go back to, let's say, the previous level that you were at? So how do you stay in that right? How do you find that right balance between being grounded and still being hungry, provided when you're in that bottom growth?
Well, it depends on what you're doing in this 8-month period. I mean, why are you grounded? Why you're not growing? Why you're not, you know, getting any more results? For me, getting, you know, having an 8-month period of seeing nothing positive out of a, you know, stagnant position or whatever, it means that probably you're not trying something new or trying hard enough or being consistent in the things that you need to do, especially in the tech world. In the tech world, you know, everything is much faster. You run an ad, doesn't work, you can change it in a couple of days. You start a marketing funnel, doesn't work, you can change it in 20 days. You start a social media strategy, if you optimize, you don't see results in a 45 days period or 60 days period, if you optimize. So 8 months is a long time. If you don't see any results, it means that you know something wrong. I see people, for example, you know, some of them are my students. They got my course on TikTok. They learn some things, but I see that they keep doing the same thing that doesn't work.
Yeah.
So what you don't understand? Try something new.
Yeah.
Right? You try that for a couple of months or 3 months, it doesn't work. Change it.
Exactly. Yeah. You don't know which strategy is going to work for you. Maybe it worked for somebody else, maybe it won't work for you, but you gotta like keep trying new things to know what works for you.
Yeah.
I really like what you do. Like you have amazing carousels. So I've seen you're getting a lot of engagements on those. So that's one of the things that I'm going to try on my page itself. Now, one of the things that I loved about you is that it was so simple. I don't know why people don't get it. Like it's basic math. You posted something about you can you can design logos on Canva and flip it on Fiverr. Basic. If you talk about India, the basic monthly salary would be close to $300. You can do that. You can use that strategy, make a lot more, and still people don't get it. I mean, what do you think would be the right? Like, just have to beat them. Like, we have to push them. Like, this is what you're supposed to do.
No, man. People are lazy. People are lazy. They're entitled. They don't want to try. They want effortless results. That's their biggest problem. And they want to play the victims. They want to have some kind of excuse that they're not making it. But, you know, all the answers are there.
Exactly.
Some people complain to me, this doesn't work. I cannot make money. Yeah, because you didn't try enough, you lazy ass.
Yeah.
You know? Didn't try.
Dead serious. It's basic math. It works.
Of course it works.
Okay. Now
it works for millions of people. Why not you?
Exactly. Yeah. What about, I watched one of your videos. You said that whatever you do in your life, you have to have the right settings and everything. Talking about content curation, do you think quality over quantity is better, or do you have any other, probably depending on the market situation, that you change those strategies? Quality, would you prefer?
I don't believe in quality over quantity. I believe this is a bullshit statement, especially for social media, because, you know, one of the major factors about getting to quality, probably the only factor to reaching quality as a creator is going through quantity. So you cannot become a great content creator if you don't pass your ass to deliver something every single day. Like an athlete, if I don't go to training every single day, I cannot just show up in the game and be great because I feel like, playing only in the game. Keep my quality for the game. No, you need to go to the training every single day and push harder, to become better. And I know it's difficult. I know it's, everybody, I'm super busy. I'm running 3 companies and I still find time to create my videos alone, to create my content and to be here every single day. So there's no excuse. If this is important for somebody, they need to start focusing on the quantity of the creation in order to reach quality, because the algorithm also rewards creators that keep people in the platform, and you cannot keep people in the platform when you show up whenever you feel like.
Yep, that's the same that's the same advice that I was speaking with an Indian entrepreneur, Avi Arya, really famous marketer. He was saying the same thing, that a lot of people get confused that you're just hiding behind your insecurities, saying that you want a good video, you want a good end content, whatever you're making, but they don't focus on the quantity aspect. So that's something that even I've been working on. I'm not going to lie, I've been guilty of it too. And I'm focusing on my quantity element. What about monetization, Konstantinos? I mean, how soon, let's back up. Somebody wants to make money on social media, right? They have a great service, let's say just a service consultation that they've honed for 10 years. And for 6 to 8 months, they start creating content, reels, TikTok videos, whatever. And they've gained a little bit of traction on the internet. And like they don't have any other, maybe a full-time career, and they just want to go all in on this one. What do you think is the right time or the right approach to monetize their audience? Having at least, maybe, is there a metric for number of followers, or is there some sort of engagements that you would look at for somebody like them?
Well, you need to have some people that give a damn about what you say every single day, right? At least. So you have proved your ability to grab their attention, because this is it. The whole struggle, the whole effort that we do to monetize, to grow an account, whatever, is grabbing people's attention and keeping, and making sure to reassure people that they made the right choice to follow this account and to be here daily. Because, for example, in my case, people save my posts even before they watch them, because they know that something valuable is coming, and I earned that by consistently giving them something. So you need to, at least for some period of time, build this kind of habit to yourself and to your followers. That this guy knows something that I need to listen to, right? So if you try to monetize too early, for me, and when you try to monetize, inevitably you will try to sell. You will talk about your product, the outcome, what it does, how much it costs, what they can win from that, right? When you do that, you don't grab their attention as much as you would do when you're trying to build an audience first. So to build a community. What I mean a community is exactly what I said before. People who give a damn about what you say every single day. This is a community. And then you can start talking about your offering, what you do as a business, introduce yourself, showcase some results, showcase some case studies. Try to make it feel native and not like an ad when you create a post, right? So for example, if I want to promote my course tomorrow on my TikTok, on my Instagram account, I will not say, get my course, it's 20% off, right? I will say 3 ways to explode your views with videos. I will say 1, 2, I keep giving value, right? And then number 3, I will give a hint with a promise that will be delivered in my course. That's what you do, and making your ads, your advertising content look native. But in order to make it native, you need to build your native language, your native identity as the creator first. And this takes a bit time.
Right, right. So something about community that I think I should tell you that, do you think this aspect is good when you say your truth? Let's say you're all about being authentic. You've said whatever you've been through. You've been an athlete. You've worked in marketing field. You've worked with great like global brands like Johnny Walker, and you say now proudly that you've done all of that and you've honed those skills. Along with that, you add a personal touch that you have also been a pianist. Now that was sort of, for me, like being part of your community, that was an emotional connection. Oh, he's a pianist, he's so successful, I wish one day I could be as successful and as good as him at this. And then there was another one that added, you said you were bullied, like so was I was a fat kid, I was bullied. Now when you say all these stories in terms of marketing, do you think that adds like an authentic community that you're building, whatever that is? Do you think that should be another way to maybe create a backstory to you for the end loyal community?
You know, branding is all about stories, right? Branding is all about storytelling. This is it. When we're talking about branding, we're not talking about a logo or a theme or aesthetics or designs. We're talking about some kind of story that evokes emotions to your potential consumers, right? When we're talking a personal brand, which is in my case, is me, Simply Digital is the same thing with Konstantinos. So when people see Simply Digital, they think about me. Simply Digital is my marketing agency, it's a company, right? But in my case, I decided to create a personal brand around it. So this personal brand needs to have a storytelling, needs to find a story to resonate with people, to tell my journey, to say how I came here, to build trust, to build an emotional connection with them. That's how people trust you. That's how people give a damn about you. That's how they want to be your friends, their mentorees, your students, your clients, right? It takes time, but it only comes through authenticity and the story around your brand, right? This is how it's done.
It's working. It's working. I'm one of your loyal fans. I remember like following you for what, 2 or 3 years ago on Instagram, and then probably you had a little bit less followers, and I'm not sure what I saw, but I kind of found, I don't remember exactly the post, but it was very helpful to me. It was something about productivity or something. And since then, I've been learning a lot from you. I mean, even from the marketing angle. So thank you for all of that.
My pleasure.
What about competition? Do you pay attention to those people who are maybe copying your posts? I'm not copying. I'm being inspired. I'm going to use carousels. Disclaimer.
Well, I used to be very much concerned about competition. I remember when I started my Simply Digital Instagram page when it was Greek, I started blocking other marketing agencies because I didn't want. I saw a couple of them that they were copying my posts, etc. And I just started blocking them because I didn't want my information to be copied by others, my knowledge to be stolen. But when I got rid of this kind of fear, of this kind of approach, of the scarcity approach, and went to a more abundant mindset that the marketplace out there is huge. Yes. If there is competition stealing my post, doesn't mean that I will get less clients, that I will get less revenue. It means that I'm doing something better than them. So they have the need to copy me, right? I've seen hundreds of people, if not thousands, getting my videos with or without copyright, without giving credit, or still copying completely my style and the way that my script of my video, whatever I showcase. I see that all the time, but for me, it's all about establishing your authenticity first, your originality first. Not it's something that goes without question. That something that performs great, that many eyeballs see you, will be copied. Whatever you see out there, if it's a brand, if it's some kind of big creator or whatever, he will be copied. The products will be copied. The himself will be copied. The videos, everything gets copied. So it's part of the journey. I got rid of this fear, and I keep, focusing on myself to be better, to improve, to reinvent myself, as I said before. because that's the only thing I care about. And they can never, copy my creativity and my experiences and myself and my personal brand character.
Follow-up question on that. When you say like you should be living in an abundance mindset and you should be putting all your stuff out, somebody who has, let's say, worked for 10, 20 years and they have proprietary strategies, let's say somebody like me who has been into the capital markets, I have my own proprietary strategies that I've not just learned from the internet, but I've tried and tested, taken hits from the market, took my own losses, and then I've refined them and I still put them out. But there are a few things that I still have it on my desk when I'm not putting it out. Do you think if somebody like me who puts it out, do you think if in the future they release a course, should they monetize that or should they just keep it in the course?
You know what? This is a discussion that I have had so many times. And in my case also, I have 20 years of experience in digital marketing, brand marketing. I shared everything I know, everything. Maybe not my more sophisticated stuff, not because I want to hide it, because people don't get interested in them so much. I will share them probably in a YouTube video, which is a longer form content, or in a podcast. But I don't do it in short videos because the nature of the consumption of content is different. What I've seen that works for me and for other creators as well is that when you share everything you know, everything, you become unique. So if you share about your experiences that have cost you money, that you've taken losses, that you learned the hard way, you found a way that works, this is where you get your establishment, something unique. Otherwise, you just, circulate stuff that everybody says, right?
Yeah, makes sense.
What's unique about that? Nothing. And trust me, even if you said everything you know, the amount of people that will take action on that is minimal.
Yeah.
So the loss of the knowledge and the potential clientele you can get is really not worth a comparison. It's not compared to the things that you gain. Okay.
That makes so much sense. I mean, you live in this fear, you live in this insecurities that you have created something great, but there are so many people who have already putting something that's even more valuable than you and they're giving it for free. So it's more about marketing, is more about telling storytelling to a community and then asking for them that they should buy their course if you want to learn more. What about risk management, Konstantinos? I mean, I'm assuming you might be juggling between a lot of businesses. You're having multiple businesses. How do you risk manage all of them and while making time for creating content?
Well, I have processes. I have a team that I trust. I'm always, I'm risk averse. I'm not doing, very risky stuff or whatever. And I'm always building on the things that I have accomplished. So what I say also always to entrepreneurs, because, when things start growing, the easiest thing is to start doing more things. This is the easiest thing, right? New opportunities, new ideas, new potential businesses, new collaborations, and you might end up doing 50 different things and scattering your power, your resources in so many different things that create a riskier environment. What I always say to people is that build something and on that create different pockets, different, get your low-hanging fruits. It's like climbing a big tree. You start, you have your first low-hanging fruits. Grab them and take them. Then you go to the next level. There are fruits there that initially you couldn't reach when you were at the bottom on the ground. Yeah. But now you are here. So the easiest thing to do and the no-brainer is to grab those fruits that are in front of you, not the other ones. Okay, don't try to go to the other tree. Yeah. Just grab the fruits that are in front of you. So that's for me the best way to grow. And the more you grow, the better you see those fruits that are in front of you. So I do things that I believe that are a no-brainer based on my current position as an entrepreneur, as revenues, as a team, etc. I'm doubling down on this position right now.
So that's one of the greatest advice you, and I've learned it from my experience. You should stay in your lane. Don't try to climb different trees. stick to one, zero in, like, become as good, as much confident that you can in that same niche. And yeah, that's going to work. Do you observe any
and own the tree. The plan is to own the tree, not keep life. You need to own the tree, your own tree.
Yeah. What about, I've seen that you're very hot on Web3. Are you observing any patterns that you have seen in social media?
Not on social media yet, but you cannot ignore what's happening with Web3 right now. It will be foolish to ignore what's happening, because I see many people saying, the NFT technology is a scam. We don't enjoy the metaverse kind of reality. Guys, this is inevitable. You either whine about it, or you stay in your village doing nothing about it, staying without Wi-Fi or a smartphone or whatever, and going to agriculture, doing other stuff out of technology. But if you are in technology, you cannot ignore where the train is taking you. The train is going this way. It's going to Web3, whether you like it or not. So you either jump out of the train, or if you stay in the train, you need to understand what the destination will look like. And the destination will have specifics in it. It will be a decentralized world. I believe that the consumers, the users of the internet, will have more power in their hands versus Web2. And there are technologies like the blockchain, the crypto, the NFT, that if you understand how it works, it's still a very early stage that you can influence that. People don't understand that. It's like, the cards are being played right now. You can really influence the game at this position. Like Google and Facebook played the cards in the beginning of Web2, right? So you either stay behind or you stay ahead, but then it's your choice.
I was speaking with one of my influencer friends, and I was telling him that the basic thing, that the first question that comes to the mind is, how do I even make my own NFT collection? I'm not going to understand all of this. But I'm telling you, you already have a community. If you educate yourself, he said, I don't understand. I'm going to have to hire developers. I'll have to create smart contracts and everything. I don't have that much. I'm like, there are platforms right now that'll do all of it not for free, but they'll do it you don't need any coding experience. I mean, there's a company called Galaxis. They have one of the best techs. I mean, I'm not sure if you're aware. They have one of the best techs, and you can create your own NFT collection. They have the best artists. One of them works with DC Comics. And I mean, you can create your own NFT collection out of just with a drop down menu option. They have a wizard and everything, and still people don't want to step in, just buy 0.1 ETH worth of NFT to make that. So it's kind of laughable. I mean, even coming from somebody who doesn't understand NFTs and everything, but if they want to, if the market's
it's funny that people want to have their own NFT collection without understanding what NFTs is. This is what really makes me angry. It's like, people that want 1 million followers without knowing what exactly to do with that. Why you want 1 million followers? In order to do what? To feel important, to brag about it on your friends. Get a girl. What do you want the followers about? It's the same with NFTs. If you want to feel that you're not missing out, I have my NFT collection. Yeah, so fucking what? What are you going to do right now?
Exactly.
If you don't understand what the NFT is, why you need it, what does it mean? What kind of support you need? Because, the NFT collection is not about designing monkeys and little figures like this. It's about marketing and hype, branding, and building a business. It comes with a utility. The NFT projects come with a utility. If you don't have a utility, you're nobody. You're just, a virtual collection of digital figures.
Yeah, that's great. Who inspires you, Konstantinos? I mean, you're doing Web2, Web3, multiple things. Who inspires you? For me, it's people like you who do all of these multiple things. I mean, I'm sure you'd be having somebody who you look up to.
Well, when I started digital marketing, Neil Patel was one of the guys that I was looking up to. I believe that, he's one of the most knowledgeable and valuable guys in the market. And then, regarding the personal brand approach and how he did everything, Gary Vee, of course, is for me, the best example. How he effortlessly built a brand by, being himself, creating content, giving value daily, never trying to sell anything to others. And that was something that, I look into, I check how he did it. I studied his game. I definitely got, many insights from his journey.
Yep. I've been learning a lot from Gary Vee. He's an amazing, amazing person, even as a human being.
Yeah, seems like that.
Yeah. Last thing, what about failure? Something that we don't talk about often. How do you take punches every day and still get up and, go with the same energy that you were doing it earlier? I mean, this is something you'll learn only after you experience it.
That's true. You know what? For me, failure is much weaker than the fear of failure. So the only opponent that you should be fear of is the fear of failure that you're carrying in your life, in your heart, in your head, in your stomach every single day, and not the actual failure. Because the actual failure actually is the best pizza you can get. It's like a small adjustment. It's like, somebody's taking you and moving you to another direction and then you know what? You were going wrong. Here's where you need to go. And leaves you to go towards the direction that is the correct one for you. That's failure for me. You did something, it's a corrective action, move forward. When you have the fear of failure, it means that I'm not doing anything. And that fear of failure can be translated into regrets later. And that's the worst thing you can do. This path of fear of failure that leads to regrets and, not following your dreams is the worst case scenario. When you face your failures and you embrace them, you only become better. There's nothing else. There's no other path after the failure. It's you becoming better.
I'd like to highlight, this is another emotional connection that I push regret so hard that I don't want to even asking you. I looked up to you. I thought that one day I'm going to be like, I'm going to try as good as I can to be as successful as him. If I don't act today, if I don't ask Konstantinos if he's going to do podcast with me, I'm going to regret 6 months from now, why I did not do this. Why I didn't do that. So this is another emotional connection.
You have to ask also,
Yep.
Some people are afraid to ask.
So I push regret so hard in my life that I don't want to regret doing something that I wanted to do in the past. So that is something that I learned that so maybe those are behavioral patterns that we have. We push regret.
Yeah, totally.
All right. Something on a light note. Do you listen to music?
Yes, of course. Music is one of the basic things that I do when I work out, when I walk, when I train, when I'm in the car.
Favorite band?
Music is everywhere. It changes my mood. It's it's part of my best moments in life. We've been with friends, etc. So yeah, I love music. I play music, as you know already. So it's a big part of my life for sure.
Any favorite bands?
Sorry?
Any favorite bands?
A band?
Or artist, anything?
I used to, any specific one. Well, I love Armin van Buuren, for example.
Amazing.
I love him. I'm into electronic music and trance and house very much. But, in general, I love music. I love, 80s and 90s, artists from this era, which I believe is uncomparable to anything else. So, it's a huge list of names that I cannot really talk about right now.
I still think 80s and 90s rock music was the best.
Totally. Huge names, insane songs. I posted one the other day, an instrumental song. It still sounds like it was created today. Like, evergreen. It's evergreen. Yep. It never gets old, never gets outdated.
Yeah.
Great.
Okay. Last question, Konstantinos. If you weren't a digital marketer, if you weren't a professional athlete in your past, if you weren't working with a global brand, what do you think you'd be today, professionally?
I think I will be a producer or a DJ, something like, Armin, for example, that. So creating my own music and playing that in front of thousands of people. I think that would be something that I would enjoy and probably would be good at it because, I have ideas, I'm creative, I love music. I've done it in the past, I've written music in the past, and I get excited about the whole thing. So I think that, who knows, maybe I will do it in the future. But for now, maybe
that would be amazing. You already have a community. You can just launch it on a platform. Audience is one of them.
Yeah, who knows?
I kind of have this. I mean, whenever I am sitting in my room, whenever I'm not working or something, I play guitar or piano. I kind of write a melody or something and I send it to my lady friend. And they all get so ecstatic, like, this is so soothing, this is so beautiful, you should work on it. And it kind of brings me the most joy that I should work on this, I should create a song out of it. But then I kind of get stuck in that mindset. So I probably something that even I enjoy, creating music, writing
create it, put it out and see what happens. You never know.
Yep. It was amazing speaking with you. I'd like to give the stage to you. I mean, if you want to add anything for people who are listening to you right now.
No, I'm just saying, I had a post today and I think it's very relevant for people who are afraid to take this step because, I've been there. I've been in a job that I was not enjoying and it was an amazing job, a dream for many people, but still it wasn't feeling me. It wasn't feeling Konstantinos. I felt like, there was a voice inside me that I was silencing. I was having on mute for many years, and I was like, no more mute for me. Let it scream, let it take out, whatever it has to say. And this is something that you don't want to carry within you forever, right? And the biggest price to pay, because many people believe that, when they're having a mediocre job, a job that they hate, whatever, they feel that they are getting paid, but in reality, they are paying a huge price. They are the ones that are paying. They are paying a huge price for not following their dreams, for not doing whatever their passion is. And this is something you don't want to allow in your life. Okay, so take the step, try to do something, try to create something for others, and you will feel more fulfilled. That's for sure.
Even I have a few friends who complain on weekends whenever they're having a drink. I'm like, why you're complaining on weekends, but in the weekdays you're not working on your dreams. So it's probably pointless to even say right now that you hate your job and then complain while you're meeting your friends. So great to meet you, man. I mean, I can't wait to speak to you again. Maybe a few. If people are listening, if you have anything you would want to ask to Konstantinos, please ask him. He's an amazing, friendly person. He'll give you all the advice that you need. Don't be somebody who feels shy to ask. He's going to do a podcast even if you ask. I mean, if you ask nicely, obviously. So dive into his world.
How you ask and how you approach people is very important.
Yep. Dive into his world. Konstantinos, where can people find you? Your social platforms?
Simply, if they search Simply Digital, they will find me everywhere. YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Pinterest, LinkedIn. So I'm everywhere. Just search Simply Digital.
So awesome. So great to speak with you, man. I'm really inspired.
Pleasure, man. Thank you for having me.
See you around.
Pleasure. Perfect.
Thank you very much. Bye.
Take care.